Welcome to World History. Today, we dive into the rich and complex history of Germany, a nation that has left a profound mark on the world. From its early tribes to the formation of the Holy Roman Empire and eventual unification, this is a story of power, culture, and evolution. Join me as we take an exciting journey through the most pivotal moments in German history. Germany, now one of the world's leading economic powers, has made its mark in history as a land of fierce warriors, great philosophers, and notable scientists. This country is located in Central Europe, bordered to the north by Denmark, the North Sea, and the Baltic Sea, to the east by Poland and the Czech Republic, to the south by Austria and Switzerland, and to the west by France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Scientific evidence shows that these lands have been inhabited for thousands of years by hunter-gatherer communities. Later, around 4,500 BC, these communities mixed with more advanced groups from southwestern Asia. Gradually, new peoples arrived, including the Balts and the Slavs. However, it was the Germanic tribes that would become the most significant in this region. The Germanic tribes were semi-nomadic warrior groups that shared a similar language. They adopted much of Celtic culture, learning metalworking and iron weapon production. But to understand more about these tribes, we must travel to the 1st century BC, when these tribes first came into contact with the Romans. In 58 BC, during Rome's expansion, Julius Caesar confronted and defeated several groups of Germanic warriors. Following this, the borders of the Roman Empire were established along the banks of the Rhine River, covering the northwest part of what is now Germany. Years later, during the reign of Emperor Augustus, the Romans crossed the Rhine and attempted to subdue the Germanic tribes, but many resisted. By this time, the Germanic tribes had become familiar with Roman military tactics. Thus, in the year 9 AD, a tribal leader named Arminius united the Germanic tribes and managed to defeat 3 Roman legions at the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. After this event, the Romans decided to secure the borders of their empire along the Rhine and abandoned the conquest of the rest of Germania. In this way, the Germanic tribes succeeded in halting Rome's expansion. Starting in the 3rd century, Germanic peoples began to slowly migrate toward the borders of the Roman Empire. 2 centuries later, these incursions, along with internal problems within the empire, led to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. After this, various kingdoms ruled by Germanic leaders emerged throughout Western Europe. One of these was the Frankish kingdom, which extended over what is now parts of Germany. However, the Franks continued to expand, and by the 8th century, this kingdom had grown into the Carolingian Empire. It conquered the Saxon and Bavarian Germanic kingdoms, thus incorporating most of modern Germany into the empire. At this time, under the influence of the Franks, the population of Germania adopted Christianity, abandoning many of their old traditions. However, in the 9th century, with the death of Charlemagne, the most famous ruler of this empire, problems began to arise. Charlemagne's son, Louis the Pious, was unable to control the conflicts among his sons or the ambitions of the nobles. In addition, Muslim and Viking peoples began to threaten the empire's borders, contributing to the Carolingian Empire's disintegration. This led to the Treaty of Verdun, which divided the empire into 3 large territories. The western lands were ruled by Charles the Bald, the central part by Lothair, and the eastern part by Louis the German. Over time, it was Louis the German's territory, the Kingdom of East Francia, that would eventually become Germany. In the 10th century, the last Carolingian king of this kingdom died, and the Duke of Saxony, Henry the Fowler, became king with the support of other Germanic dukes. His son, Otto I, became the most notable Saxon king. He defeated the Hungarian peoples, initiated a Christianization program for the Vikings and Slavs, and intervened in Italian political matters. In 962, the Pope crowned Otto, Emperor of the Romans, a title not used since the Carolingian Empire. This event marked the birth of what would become the Holy Roman Empire. In the 11th century, a new dynasty came to power in Germania with the election of Conrad II. Both Conrad and his successors sought to consolidate the monarchy and strengthen the empire. During this time, German kings aimed to use their status as emperors to benefit from Italy's resources. In the 12th century, the rise of a new dynasty brought King Frederick I, who tried to conquer northern Italy, aiming to make it the center of the Holy Roman Empire. However, Frederick faced resistance from the Pope and northern Italian cities, leading to his eventual defeat. Later, Frederick's grandson, Frederick II, focused so much on building a strong kingdom in Italy that he neglected the German territories. Consequently, German lands were effectively ruled by princes. After Frederick II's death, the German princes elected Rudolf of Habsburg, a noble with limited power, as their ruler, as they wanted to maintain a weak monarchy. Over time, it became common for German princes and religious authorities to elect the emperor, which meant that during the medieval period, the Holy Roman Empire never developed a strong, centralized monarchy. Instead, there were small states under the emperor's nominal control, but in practice, they enjoyed significant independence. In the 16th century, the Habsburg dynasty significantly expanded its power through strategic marriages, making Emperor Charles V not only the ruler of the Holy Roman Empire, but also of other European territories like Naples, Spain, and its colonies. During Charles V's reign, the Protestant Reformation broke out in Germany. This movement began when the German theologian Martin Luther wrote his theses criticizing the Catholic Church's practices and proposed the creation of a Reformed church. Luther's ideas quickly spread throughout Germania, where many princes adopted Lutheranism. Charles V, alarmed by the growth of Lutheranism, attempted to restore Catholicism. But the German princes, along with free imperial cities, formed an alliance to resist. The conflict led to war, with Charles V initially defeating the Protestant forces. However, they soon formed an alliance with France, forcing the emperor to negotiate peace. The war ended in 1555 with the formal recognition of Lutheranism, granting it the same legal status as Catholicism. Princes were now allowed to establish the official religion in their territories. But religious conflict in Germany didn't end there. In the 17th century, a new political and religious war, the 30 Years' War, erupted. At first, only Lutheranism was recognized as a legitimate religion, but many German states adopted Calvinism, leading to the formation of a new Protestant alliance. In response, Catholic states in southern Germany formed the Catholic League. As the war dragged on, the German princes aligned themselves with the enemies of the Habsburgs, especially France. After years of violence and destruction, the war ended with the recognition of Calvinism, and many German states were left depopulated and economically devastated. Following the 30 Years' War, the German states became almost entirely independent, and the Habsburg emperors focused on their Austrian lands, abandoning the idea of a unified German empire. Meanwhile, in northern Germany, one state began to rise above the others, Brandenburg, Prussia. This state benefited from the policies of Frederick William, the Great Elector, who established a permanent army and implemented mercantilist economic policies to promote local industry. These measures laid the foundation for the future Kingdom of Prussia. By the early 18th century, Prussia had become a powerful military state thanks to reforms initiated after its defeat by Napoleon, such as the abolition of serfdom and the expansion of military service. Over time, Prussian nationalism and liberal ideas grew, especially in universities. By the mid-19th century, Prussian liberals called for German unification. However, the Prussian monarchy under King Wilhelm I appointed Otto von Bismarck as Chancellor, and Bismarck became the key figure in shaping German unification. Bismarck reorganized the Prussian army and cleverly used external conflicts to expand Prussia's power. First, he allied with Austria to defeat Denmark in 1864, then turned against Austria and defeated it in 1866, leading to the creation of the North German Confederation. Finally, between 1870 and 1871, Prussia defeated Napoleon III's France, and the southern German states joined the North German Confederation, completing the unification of Germany. King Wilhelm I became the first emperor of the German Empire, with Bismarck as its first chancellor. The fact that German unification was achieved through the monarchy and the Prussian military would have a lasting impact, as we will explore in the next video. For now, I invite you to leave a comment on what you consider Germany's most important contribution to the world. And that wraps up our journey through Germany's history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. What do you think has been Germany's greatest impact on the world? Let us know in the comments. Also, follow us on social media for more fascinating content. See you in the next video, right here on World History.